to another episode of the Hubler Auto Group Coach's Corner. I'm your host, Thomas Crow, and once again joining me is my good friend, Brian Powers.
Thomas,
That's good.
It's really good to.
You can just sit up. You're good.
Oh. We don't have microphones, and so I'm kind of confused because the microphone's right here.
It'll work.
And I don't know what.
You're good.
Joining us today, we have one of our recurring guests.
Uh-huh.
Obviously, definitely one of our top 15 favorite guests we've ever had on here. We have with us today FCHS Athletic Director, Mr. Bill Doty.
Thank you, guys. So am I, you only have 15 guests on? Is that it? Is that where
I
I
think
fall?
it's had 13,
Okay.
maybe 12.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Hey, no shave November. I'm off to a good start. I see you are too.
Yeah, they
Looking
made me
good.
shave. Actually,
Looking
you missed it about 10 minutes ago. They told me that I had a little patch here missing, so I took some scissors and cut them while we were waiting.
Really embarrassing.
Yeah.
Fire away, Brian.
All right, so we haven't caught up with you in a while.
Yeah.
Since the beginning of the school year.
Mhm.
Had a great fall season. Basically is kind of over now.
Yeah.
Getting into the winter season.
just
So let's talk a little bit about the fall season and kind of the sports there. What
Yeah,
you
football just wrapped up, as you guys know. The sectional was last Friday night, and we competed well, competed tough. Had some unfortunate plays over at New Pal that we just couldn't overcome. But so that season ended. But football had I consider it a great season. Coming back, everything Blue Crew was back in the stands. Everything seemed back to normal. Hey, we won the cannon, right? Again, the boot is back where it belongs, right? Beat Plainfield. We, had again just some tough plays throughout the year here and there that, season could have been turned around. A lot of good things happening though, so we're looking forward to football in the future. But yeah, all the fall sports are over at this point, and we're looking ahead to winter. So, but
But before we go kind of season by season, one of the biggest things I remember from last year talking during our recaps was just the lack of fans in the stands, the COVID regulations. This year, thank goodness, was finally kind of back to normal, like you said. We were at full capacity for the games. A lot of people in the stands. So, being the athletic director, how did it feel to just have kind of everything back to normal, people there?
It's a great feeling. It was really good to see the kids back in the stands. They having the Blue Crew back, obviously the spectators. I mean, just the support that all of the student athletes receive by everybody. That's the fun part for me to be able to watch and to be a part of. So all the kids still we competed last year, but it just didn't have that same feel, and that feeling's back, and it was fun. We had a great time this fall, and a lot of good things happening, from soccer all the way to boys tennis. I mean, we had a lot of good things on the courts and in the classrooms too. So yeah.
So one of the things that I think the highlight, I would say, for the entire fall season is Ava Rae. Her fantastic performance at the Golf State Championship. Reminding me kind of myself, just the way she gets out there and just hits the ball. Yeah, 76, 78, just consistency right there, finishing third in the state. How did you see her grow throughout the year and just?
Yeah, she changed swing coaches about mid-year, and you really just saw her from a mental standpoint, course management, those types of things. She kind of got out of her own way. I think she would agree with that. If she watches this, she's always had the talent has always been there, but first start of the season, she was just really more thinking about her swing. And when she started, she just let that go and just started playing golf and let her talent take over. Obviously, we saw what happened. Finishing third at the state, all state. Recognition for her. Her picture is going to be up in the Walk of Fame down there. So, she was conference champion, county champion. She won. She was sectional champion. I finished third in the state, and then I think she won maybe 2 or 3 other invitationals. She was medalist at those invitationals, dual meets. She just had a fantastic run in the last maybe month and a half of the season. So, it was really cool to see. Yeah.
Yeah, county and conference player of the year as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, well deserved.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So from one grass sport to another, talk to us about the boys and girls soccer seasons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, both had solid seasons. Both finished third in the conference. They're again very competitive. Our mid-state conference is competitive in soccer, with Perry Meridian being in there. Our sectionals are really tough. Plainfield's always tough. Every conference game for boys and girls soccer is just a battle. And, a lot of times, I think you guys were there for those nights when it came down to PKs. And those are always exciting. But sometimes we came out on the losing end of those things. But, man, it was fun every night, and the girls played hard. You're going to see some, I think Griffin Atkinson on the boys' side was all district. Molly Hill and Addie Marshall you're going to see some signings come. They'll be looking forward to their college careers. Molly's going to go to Marion, and then Addie's going to go to Butler. So we'll do some college signings for them next week, I think, for when they sign their national letter of intent. So just, overall, just a really good season for both programs, and looking forward to the future. They're both pretty young teams too, so yeah, a lot of good stuff coming.
That's what we had with Coach Harris, was basically they're just a very young team.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then continuing on the grass, you had boys and girls cross country. Now, I've lauded you for your basketball hire of Coach Moss.
Mm-hmm.
You had a first-year coach, boys cross country. I don't necessarily agree with your hire on that one. I think you could have gone a different route,
right.
But
yeah,
whatever. That's your call. So with their season, just ended a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, Ty Murphy made it to. He was semi-state qualifier. Finished his season there at Shelbyville, and our boys team competed well. Had some injuries as of late that kept the team probably from advancing to semi-state. Our girls team were sectional champions. Lauren Clem was sectional champion, conference champion, county champion. From an individual standpoint. So, a lot of PRs throughout the year. Again, more young talent there in both those teams, and looking for some big things coming up in the future for both teams. Yeah.
Just a disclaimer: we are fans of Jeff Powers on this. On the show.
I'm a huge fan of Jeff Powers too. So
big Jeff Powers fans. Yeah. All right, so from I guess one green surface to another green surface, we'll talk about boys tennis.
Boys tennis, finished fourth in the conference, and we did something different this year with the conference. We made the dual meets count as the team, how you would place in the team competition. And then we allowed the individual tournament play to determine individual conference placing champions. And so we actually, the team finished 8-7 overall, finished fourth in the conference, and which is, I think with Rusty Hughes, I think this is his third or fourth year for leading the boys team. He's got them in a good spot. We were right there. I think we lost the two dual meets that we lost in the conference. We lost 3-2, so it could have went either way. We could have vaulted up maybe closer, around second place in the conference. But they had a great season there. And then in the individual tournament, we had kids either in the finals or the semifinal matches at every spot, 1 through 3 singles, and then the doubles position. So they really performed well, and looking for good things ahead for them next year as well.
And then last volleyball, yes.
Volleyball,
I know what it is. I just was making sure that was last.
Yeah.
So the hardwood volleyball, the girls team they look pretty strong. I know they had a good amount of seniors. They were a little bit of an older team.
And when you look at the record for volleyball, it may not stand out to everybody as what people would consider a successful year for our volleyball program. We have one of the toughest schedules in the state, and so sometimes you find that come out on the losing side of that, some of those matches, and that was the case this year. They battled and constantly getting to a fifth set and playing tough, and sectionals are really tough. Greenwood had a great year. had just an outside hitter that really nobody could compete with, and so there were some things there that I think I know our coaches can build on. Probably a little disappointed. I think may have been a little disappointed as players and coaches with the outcome of the season. But I look at it as a positive. Got young kids, a lot of freshmen, sophomores playing. We did have a few seniors. We're going to miss them for sure. But the future's bright for volleyball as well. So,
yeah. They lost Cammie Kelsey.
Yeah.
Remember last year we had a volleyball match with her.
Yep.
That we
how did that go? I don't remember. Yeah.
The lost tapes.
Yes. Yeah. That episode was never released. Actually, we lost it.
Lost the footage.
So the only other team that we haven't talked about so far in the fall season was the flag football team.
Yeah.
Which was an extremely cool team to have.
Mm-hmm. Yep. First year, Mike Leonard was our coach, and for the people watching, they may know Mike Leonard, Hall of Fame, Indiana Football Hall of Fame coach, coached at Franklin College for I think 17 years. Came on board as our unified flag football coach and did a fantastic job getting kids out to play. In a first year of something like that, it's hard to, in a fall sport, trying to rally kids to join a new team is difficult, and he did a great job. We probably feel like maybe they were slighted in the sectional a little bit. I think some of our fans and players probably feel like that we probably should have won a sectional in this first year, but they're going to come back strong. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. There's some nuances to flag football that I think Coach has learned now that maybe he can take advantage of.
Some rules to kind of give the upper hand.
Exploitation of rules.
Absolutely.
No, it is right. We joke about that stuff, but I mean that is a neat sport to see the sportsmanship, the interaction between both schools, competing schools, and just the love of competition for everybody in that program. It was a highlight of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and I think just about everybody would agree with you on that.
Yeah.
All right, so fall season, like you said, a very successful year. I don't know how many times we said sectional champion, state, all that stuff in this episode, but obviously a lot.
Yeah.
So definitely an exciting season. Now we look ahead to the winter season. Mm-hmm. We got wrestling with Coach Tante. We got boys basketball with new head coach Moss. And then girls basketball, who were just recently ranked 11th in the state, as well as swimming, diving, and a couple other things.
Right. Well, we talk about swimming and diving. Perennial powerhouse. Franklin. I think Coach DeWitt, what he's done with the program over the years, and we're going to be right there again, competing at the state level. Don't see any changes with that. Diving as well. And then when you look at wrestling, Rage on the Stage. Mm-hmm. November 19th in the PAC, come down. We're going to have, I think there's probably enough people that are excited about that. We may have to do pre-sale tickets for that. We're probably going to have to do something with Blue Crew and our high school kids because they get in free to our events. We may have to do some pre-purchase, like pre-giveaway tickets, I guess we'd call it. To make sure that we keep that to the right amount of spectators in that pack. But yeah, November 19th, Rage on the Stage. Make sure you guys check that out, and that'll be fun. Yeah.
Rage on the Stage is a cool name, but have we ever thought about Pack the Pack?
Pack the Pack. Hey, I'm
this
sure
is why
Coach
you're
Tante.
One of the leaders of Blue Crew.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. Just something to think about.
Yeah. You need to get with Coach Tante on that. I think he could change the name. We can do all kinds of marketing tools around that. Yeah.
We could get something going there.
Yeah.
All right. So now let's talk about basketball. Like I just said, 11th in the state for the girls, and a lot of excitement around Coach Moss and the boys basketball team.
Yeah, girls basketball obviously with the run they had last year, making it to semi-state. Those expectations are high. I know there's a lot of now. Kids and coaches and parents, everybody's feeling the pressure of that maybe, but if they can just relax, just play their game, things are going to work out well, I think, this season and to make another run. And I think maybe even a little further than that semi-state run. So those expectations are high, and it gets kicked off this Thursday against Mount Vernon at home. Make sure everybody comes out. So freshmen will play in the field house. 6 o'clock, JV at 6 o'clock with varsity to follow in the main gym around 7:30. So make sure you come out and check the girls out this Thursday on So what is that? That'd be November 4th. That's tomorrow.
Yeah,
November
tomorrow.
Yeah, November 4th. So come out and check them out. Boys team won't kick their season off until November 23rd. So I think that's our last day before Thanksgiving break. So that's a home game against Indian Creek, JV and varsity that night. Coach Moss, first year coach. We've seen some exciting things with him. I know, Thomas, you're going to be right there with him, leading the way. So we're excited about the future.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I think that kind of covers our wrap up of the fall, our excitement leading into the winter. Mr. Doty, thanks again for joining us.
Yeah. Hey, my pleasure. Thanks for doing this.
Thank you very much for.
Thanks, Brian. For our athletic director, Mr. Doty, for my very confused friend, Brian Powers, I'm your host, Thomas Crow, and this has been the Hubler Auto Group Coach's Corner.
Hubler is proud to be the official sponsor of Franklin Athletics. Score massive savings on all your favorite brands. Plus, get our 10-year, 200,000-mile warranty included. For all auto needs, just click drivehubler.com. Let's go, Grizzly Cubs!